Hey there, Booktube! This is Margaret. Thanks for coming by again. Welcome to my channel. Today's video is on the Victober/October wrap-up. I am greeting you from the other side of the veil. What I mean by that is not Samhain related this time. It's actually that I'm recording this before the American election and you're going to see it after. So yeah, I hope it's a good distraction because it'll probably last for a while, all the drama. And yeah, I don't know. I'm still getting used to the rhythm of making videos each month. I don't really like this switch I did of talking about October and November and talking about November and October. That seems disorderly to me. But the fact that you have to record videos in advance also makes that sort of squirrely, so I don't know. If you guys have a plan for how to keep that straight and sort of, I don't know, make the best of that situation, let me know in the comments. So what I'm going to discuss today is how well I did. I had 7 books with 1 bonus. I didn't get to the bonus, spoiler, and I will tell you how I did. So I started off with the Victober books, pretty strong. I read Tales of the Islanders by Charlotte Bronte. This is her, written when she was 13, 14. And it's pretty fantastical and full of horror and not really my thing. There's a lot of Wellington. Jesus Christ. Okay. There's a lot of Wellington hero worship and just sort of silly situations, so not my favorite. Then I read North and South by Elizabeth Gaskell, which was amazing. I took it as slow as I could to sort of savor this first reading of it, even though I've already seen the miniseries adaptation, which is wonderful. And just really enjoyed it. There's a lot of pieces that people have brought up in other videos, and I'm not going to do a review of this because it's just great. And then I did Wonderful Adventures of Mrs. Seacole in Many Lands, which is a Jamaican mixed-race woman in the mid-19th century talking about how she worked as a healer near the Panama Canal and got experience there, and then was fired up with the spirit of fellow feeling or empirical feeling to go help the soldiers, some of whom she'd cared for before, over in the Crimean War, and I had a very weak grasp of what the Crimean War was about, or who was involved, or where it took place, so that was very eye-opening, and she has great humor and great pathos in her tellings about her experiences in these places, so this is a really great read. And then I had this idea to do the reschool, return, and research, and that didn't happen, so the book I borrowed from a friend, Haymarket, I have not finished. I'm still in the exact same place. The other books, 12 Wild Swans, which I was going to return to and finish. No, I did not. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, return, research, reschool. And the reschool option was Hood Feminism. I am making my way through that. I've only got 50 pages, so I could finish this today, but I'm worried about word counts and how I'm gonna do with Nano, so I'm hoping I'll finish it today. So that is how October went. It was pretty busy. It was pretty amazing. I helped out with the Sanibel Island Writers Conference. A Mighty Blaze has all those videos up on their YouTube channel, which I'll link. So October, that was October. There was very little Preptober going on. I saw the posts. None of them really spoke to me. They weren't really speaking to where I was in my process. So my Preptober was rather hurried. It was more of a mental process of getting ready for how am I going to do a next phase during November that is going to be amplified or sped up in my case. And I'm not in an editing phase. I'm in a finishing phase still from April. Yeah, I know. So what I decided to do, and keep your hats on. This is going to sound a little crazy. I'm about 2/3 of the way through. What I'm doing is writing new pages, continuing handwriting in the journals, and at the same time also doing sessions where I transcribe those handwritten passages into Scrivener later in the process, when I get to the end, because I will get to the end, I will then start transcribing the beginning passages that I've handwritten into Scrivener. Scrivener is just an app for keeping track of your words and formatting stuff for writers, and editing as I go. So once I have the ending, I can actually look back, evaluate the structure, make notes about where I need to make changes, and then make them as I go when I type it up. So that's 3 different things for the same project. And as I described it to someone today, it's like a moving mammoth having a baby. And so we'll see what that looks like. This is definitely a Nano Rebel type approach to Nano 2020, because why would it be normal? It's 2020. I just wanted to check in with November, basically because I'm a mood reader. The TBRs are going to be, as Kazan says, piles of possibility rather than TBRs, because that's too much like homework. And there's going to be a lot of unofficial book creep, which is, what did I have on hand that I turned to because it was what I wanted to read rather than what was on my list. Here's this one. When a Scott ties the knot, I don't know, I saw someone talk about it and I was like, yes, let's get that from the library. And then, because I joined StoryGraph, which I'll link down below, which is a new alternative to Goodreads, because everyone wants an alternative to Goodreads, because Goodreads sucks. StoryGraph has a bunch of challenges. One of them is a native reads challenge. There's a couple of different prompts about this tribe or debut or someone's recommendations kind of things. And so I looked at some of those and was like, ooh, that looks interesting, that looks interesting. So I got some for my library before Indigathon even started, and so I read these in October, so they're in the wrong pile, but it's interesting. A Girl Called Echo. I did not realize this was volume 3 of a 3-volume series, so it's a graphic novel, and it's very cool art and very emotive, so I bet that if you read these in order, this makes more sense. But I didn't know if it was an imagination thing or a time travel thing. Turns out it's a time travel thing, and that's really cool, so I will have to get the other volumes when I come back to Portland and able to get library books again. The other one for Native Reading Challenge on StoryGraph was What the Eagle Sees. This was, the subtitle is Indigenous Stories of Rebellion and Renewal. This is by Eldon Yellowhorn and Kathy Lowinger. It was basically like a survey or an overview of different efforts that Native peoples have made to make the U.S. honor their agreements or find a way to live in the way that they wanted to. And there's a lot of inspirational stories, there's a lot of heartrending stories. The maps weren't that connected to the text. I was a little puzzled by some of the maps, but they had some cool sections about Imagine, where they would tell you, sort of set up a scene of unimaginable horrors, basically, and sort of give you eyes on the ground of what it would have been like to be in those situations. Pretty neat. So those are my library reads that crept in somehow, because what other reason am I leaving the house other than to post mail and pick up library books? I also listened to an audiobook, the Cory Doctorow Information Doesn't Want to Be Free, which was great. I'm also listening to one now, which is Kate Quinn's The Huntress, which is amazing. I hope it continues to be amazing. Yeah, there's a lot of planning going into this, moving south for the winter thing. There's also a lot of planning going into Yola Boca Float PDX, which is the literary festival that we're running in December, me and Elizabeth Mitchell. And what's happening is my book birthday. The last video was about asking for people to send me clips of what home means, and if they have ever longed for a place that was home, or been away from home and longed for it, or understood in some special moment what home really means, and especially if it relates to Scotland. This is a scarf I got in Scotland. It's an ancient Buchanan or hunting Buchanan pattern, I don't remember anymore. But it's basically the colors of Scotland in fall, and I really love it, so it makes me feel a connection with that place, which is nice. So I'd love to compile some of your clips and give you credit and sort of have a compilation of all the booktubers that I know and I'm getting to know, and have it right before Thanksgiving so that we can all feel connected and grounded and talk about our connections to different places and maybe find out about new ones. 30 seconds to 60 seconds. Hopefully you can just, send me a small clip and I can ooh and ah over them all and then show you all something really cool 3 weeks from now. So please send that in the next 2 weeks. Oh yes, there's a lot of stuff. Okay, NaNoWriMo, I'm doing the hashtag last line I wrote, LLIW. So please, if you are participating in Nano and you're either shy of posting your word count or you don't want to get heckled by people on Twitter who are like, word counts are boring, stop it. Post your last line you wrote and then we can all titter gleefully about how funny it sounds out of context. That is my goal, tittering gleefully. So, yes, that's a lot of stuff. My October wrap-up, my unofficial book creep, my Nano hashtag goals, my book birthday call for clips. This is going to be a hard one to edit. Hope you guys have fun with Indigathon and Nonfiction November, and I'll be seeing you in your video comments. So feel free to pop a comment down below and subscribe for more. Alright, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.